Welcome back to Supreme Master Television. We're here with Melissa Mengo and we're talking about the raw food diet and making a transition to a raw food diet. So Melissa, can you tell us about how you educated yourself in the beginning to go into the raw food diet?
When my trainer suggested doing raw foods, I thought it was nuts, so I had to prove him wrong naturally. He just mentioned to me, why don't you try the diet? So I read a couple books that he had. One in particular was called Blatant Raw Foodist Propaganda, and it's by Joe Alexander. I plowed through that in an afternoon and I thought, wow, this is amazing. I'm still skeptical, but it caught my eye. And then I went to some of David Wolfe's books, and then Victoras Kulvinskas, and that just catapulted me into just tearing apart every raw food book I could possibly get my hands on. I mean, heavy textbooks by Dr. Gabriel Cousens, books that I would never, I'd be really scared to tackle. Was just, I found a subject that I was so passionate about and just starving for the information, So I just plowed through books. I started traveling. I went to Costa Rica and I went to some organic farms. I started finding and running into raw foodists that were either still on the diet, not on the diet, never tried the diet but interested. So I was kind of just interested, why were people still on the diet? Why were they not on it anymore? I mean, I wanted to know everything. And so again, the transition's important, and also maybe where you live and the influences around you are important. So my education came from that, just being a research monkey myself. And as far as being a chef, I was going to go to medical school. After I started getting all this information, I thought, I want to change the planet, and how do I do that? As I want to make people better. So I thought, well, I'll go to medical school and I'll get the credentials of that, and then I will go and study the other and offer a better solution. But what I found out was, I guess that wasn't where the universe wanted me. I found out after doing practice through my own diet that I got really good at making food. I just had a natural knack for it. I made amazing food, it just came so natural. So I just kind of went with that. And then pretty soon I was getting hired to do private classes. That led into doing things for like Whole Foods, and then that led into working for Dr. Gabriel Cousens in his facility and being a guest chef and instructor, and then that led into getting private classes from other families that wanted me to come in and transition them in their own homes, and catering. I mean, it just opened up a whole new world because I offered such a wonderful service.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Vegetarianism, the Noble Way of Living. Please tune in tomorrow for part 2 of Terra Cafe. Coming up next is Blessing the World with Spiritual Practice on Between Master and Disciples. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.